Covering news where you live. 5 News starts with breaking news.
Breaking news happening at a prison in north central Arkansas, where an inmate who once worked as a police chief in northwest Arkansas has escaped. According to the Department of Corrections, Grant Hardin escaped from the prison around 3:30 this afternoon. The escape happened at the north central unit near Calico Rock. It's a little over 60 miles east of Harrison. Here's a look at Hardin's most recent mugshot released by the Department of Corrections. He was serving sentences at the prison since 2017 for first-degree murder and rape. Both crimes happened in Benton County, where he also worked as a police chief in the town of Gateway. This surveillance photo released by the Stone County Sheriff's Office shows Hardin during his escape. You can see he appears to be wearing a Department of Corrections uniform. Both the murder and rape he's convicted of happened in Benton County, where Hardin also had a history of working in law enforcement and worked as a police chief in Gateway before his arrest. Stone County Sheriff Brandon Long says his department was alerted around 5 p.m. They're assisting the Arkansas Department of Corrections, State Police, and the Izard County Sheriff's Office, which is where the prison is located. Authorities are using every resource available, including drones. The sheriff says the roads leading into Stone County from Izard County are shut down, and they're checking all vehicles. He's encouraging people to stay alert no matter how far away you live from the prison, making sure your vehicles are locked, and if you see something, say something. Calling Hardin extremely dangerous.
I don't feel like he's got a whole lot of choice but to get a vehicle, and now whether he just steals the vehicle or he takes someone hostage with the vehicle is our biggest fear, obviously. That's one reason why we've got the roads shut down leading from Izard County.
Here's a look at Hardin's history. He was the police chief in Gateway, a small town between Bentonville and Eureka Springs near the Missouri state line. He pled guilty to first-degree murder for the shooting of James Appleton. It happened near Garfield in 2017. Hardin's rape conviction was for a separate crime in 1997. DNA evidence was used to identify him as the suspect in the assault of a teacher at a Rogers Elementary School. He eventually pled guilty to that charge as well. The Department of Corrections didn't provide any information about his whereabouts. The Benton County Sheriff's Office released a statement saying they're working closely with the Department of Corrections to locate Hardin due to his strong ties to Benton County. We want to show you photos of Grant Hardin one more time. The Stone County Sheriff's Office says he is extremely dangerous. Anyone who spots him or has any information on where he is should call 911. You can find all the information released today by the Department of Corrections on the free 5 News app. You can find all our coverage of Hardin's past cases. Switching gears, we're also tracking rainy weather this Memorial Day weekend. Joshua Weisel picks up our coverage in the 5 News Weather Center with a first look at the latest conditions out there tonight. Hey, Joshua.
Hey, and we're talking about more dreary weather, unfortunately. Bearer of bad news. It feels like we've been doing this a lot lately, but you can see looking outside, fortunately, not too bad, and we could actually see the fireworks from the Naturals game here from the studio earlier, so that was pretty cool. Glad they were able to get some baseball in there. We had some softball here as well, so we were able to get some activities in across the area. Activities started to wind down. We did get a little bit of a break, but unfortunately, unlike yesterday, we didn't really see that sunshine in terms of the break. You can see some rain starting to make its way closer to our neck of the woods, and you can see just some light showers moving into portions of Benton and Washington counties. New flash flood warning just west of our area. This is just a lot of rainfall. How much? Well, over the last 48 hours or so, we've picked up almost 1.5 inches in some areas. Rogers right around 1 inch and 3/10, and then we're going to be talking about right around 1.5 inches in Fort Smith. Fayetteville, just about 3. So that's a lot of rainfall over the last little bit. Here's a look at what we've got. We do have an excessive risk for rainfall today into tonight. It's a moderate risk that does clip parts of the area. This is similar to the Storm Prediction Centers, except this is for the potential for excessive rainfall into a flash flooding concern. Right now, that is at a moderate risk. It does include parts of the area. Tomorrow, not as much. We're going to have more details on that for your plans for your Memorial Day and the timing in just minutes.
School's almost out across Arkansas, but Lincoln Superintendent Mary Ann Spears is already looking ahead. She's just been elected to the Siloam Springs School Board, adding a new role to her already full plate. 5 News reporter Jacob Luthi caught up with Spears to learn how she plans to balance both positions and reflect on her impact in Lincoln so far.
Marianne Spears will mark 20 years with Lincoln Schools during the 2025-2026 school year.
Assistant principal, then principal at the high school, and then I've been superintendent the last 12 years.
During her tenure, Spears led a shift to a 4-day school week, a decision she says strengthened the budget, reduced teacher turnover, and boosted attendance.
I love it. I love this district. Lots of good things going on here. We do have a lot of challenges. Right now, we're just above 1,000 kids, K-12. And it's just a good place, great place. My grandkids go here. I have 2 daughters that now teach here.
After 2 decades in Lincoln, Spears plans to retire at the end of the next school year. But before she does, she'll balance one final year as superintendent while beginning a new role as a school board member in Siloam Springs.
This might be a little busy for a year, but it'll be okay. I'm looking forward to it. That district's about 4 times the size of this one, so going to be a whole different lens, and I'm going to be on the other side of that table.
A Siloam Springs resident for 4 years, Spears was elected unopposed to the Zone 5 school board seat. She brings more than 30 years of education experience to the table.
Being on this side, I've been a teacher, I've been a building administrator, now a district administrator. I hope I can bring some positive things to the table, but I'm not going over there with an agenda that I want to change anything, or I'll just sit back and learn for a little bit.
After a career devoted to students, Spears isn't stepping away from education, just serving it from a different seat.
It's our job as school leaders, no matter what capacity you are, to ensure that our kids are doing well and that they're going to be productive citizens, no matter which community, whether that's Lincoln or Siloam Springs, Arkansas, our nation.
In Lincoln, covering news where you live, Jacob Luthi, 5 News.
More than 600 students from across Arkansas arrived in Conway today for Boys State. The students represent the largest enrollment in a decade and come from more than 200 different schools. The week-long leadership experience will give the students a chance to build a mock government from the ground up. A few of the Arkansans who have went through the Boys State program include former President Bill Clinton, Ambassador to Israel Mike Huckabee, and Senator Tom Cotton. A new position is coming to Rogers to help preserve the history of the city. 5 News reporter Parker Abels breaks down what this new person will do and why it's so important to the city of
Rogers Historic Preservation Coordinator is a new position created by the Rogers Historical Museum to help them in preserving the city's history, starting with updating the National Register of Historic Listings in Benton County.
It's been many years since it's been updated, and there's some properties that unfortunately we no longer have anymore. Other properties have been updated or changed in some way, so we need to just go through that whole list of over 130 properties throughout the whole county.
By updating this list, Serena Barnett, director of the museum, says it'll help raise awareness for all the historic properties in not only the city, but all of Benton County.
Rogers has many historic properties, and it's going to help raise awareness for those properties. And we'll also be working closely with the Historic District Commission and making sure that they are aware of any information that might help them with their decisions.
And she says this is the first of its kind.
This is something that we identified that is a need in our community, and we are very, very happy to be able to bring this position to fruition.
She can't wait to see how this position benefits the city.
This is just a very pivotal moment for us to be able to continue preserving our history beyond the walls of the museum. By creating this position, we are now able to help preserve history in our community.
In Rogers, covering news where you live, Parker Abels, 5 News.
The position is currently posted. If you're interested in applying, you'll be able to find the link later tonight on 5newsonline.com. Looking ahead, the Fayetteville National Cemetery will host a remembrance ceremony tomorrow. The Memorial Day event will get underway at 10 o'clock. Other national cemeteries in Arkansas have also been holding ceremonies this week. Fort Smith National Cemetery hosted one earlier today, and Little Rock's hosted one over the weekend.